Making English easy for everyone.
Speak English with Jay and May.
Hey, English learners. Welcome back to Speak English with Jay and May, your cozy little place to build your English confidence. I'm May.
Hello, May, and hello, everyone. I'm Jay. How are you today, May?
I'm doing great, Jay. Actually, I'm in a really good mood today because, I had a very polite morning.
A polite morning? What does that even mean?
Well, my neighbor asked me, could you water my plants while I'm away? And I just thought, wow, that's such a soft, nice way to ask for something.
Oh, I know what you mean. Instead of saying, water my plants.
Exactly. That sounds like an order, right? Like a boss talking to an employee. But could you water my plants? Sounds friendly and respectful.
So that's our topic today?
Yes, today we are talking about 3 magic words: could, would, should. These 3 little words can completely change how polite, soft, and friendly you sound in English.
3 magic words. I like the sound of that. Real quick, though, before we continue, let's remind our listeners.
Oh yes, if this podcast is helping you speak better English, please hit that subscribe button, like this episode, and turn on notifications. We make a brand new episode every single day, so you don't want to miss any of them.
Every day. That's a lot of English practice, friends. Okay, May, let's get into it. So, could, would, should. These words are not new to me, but I never really thought of them as magic words before.
That's because most people learn them in grammar books, like could is the past tense of can. But honestly, in real-life conversation, these words are tools for politeness. They're like sugar. You add a little bit of sugar and the sentence becomes sweeter.
Sugar for sentences. I like that. Okay, let's start with could. How do we use it?
So, could is perfect when you want to ask someone for something, but you don't want to sound demanding. For example, imagine you're in a coffee shop and you want extra sugar.
Okay, I'm imagining it. Continue.
You could say, give me some sugar, but that sounds rude, almost like a command. Instead, you say, could I get some extra sugar, please? See the difference?
Oh yeah, that second one sounds much more gentle.
Exactly. Could softens the request. It's asking for permission in a polite way instead of just demanding something.
Got it. So could is for asking for things or asking for permission.
Yes, both. Like, could I open the window? Or could you help me with this bag? Both are polite requests.
Wait, here's a question I always had. What's the actual difference between can and could? Aren't they kind of the same?
Good question. Can is more direct, more casual. Like, can you pass the salt? Is fine between friends. But could adds a softer, more respectful tone. It's like, imagine can is talking in your normal voice, and could is like lowering your voice a little, being extra gentle.
Oh, I get it now. So with strangers or informal situations, could is safer?
Exactly. If you're talking to your boss, a stranger, or someone older, could just feels more respectful.
That makes sense. But what if I use could too much? Will I sound weird, like I'm too nervous or too shy?
That's actually a really thoughtful question, Jay. To be honest, no. Using could a lot doesn't make you sound shy, it makes you sound considerate. Native speakers use it all the time, even in casual chats. It's not weakness, it's just good manners built into the language.
Oh, that's good to know, because I always worried that being too polite might make me sound less confident.
Not at all. Actually, confident people often sound the most polite because they don't feel the need to be pushy. Politeness and confidence can absolutely go together.
Okay, now let's talk about would. Honestly, this one confuses me a little.
You're not alone. A lot of learners get confused with would. But here's a simple way to think about it. Would is great for invitations and offering things politely.
You mean like inviting someone somewhere?
Yes, for example, would you like to join us for dinner? Instead of just saying, come eat dinner with us. See the difference in tone?
Oh, wow, yeah. The first one sounds like a warm invitation, but the second one sounds kind of bossy.
Exactly. And here's the interesting part. Would is also amazing for offering help or things to someone. Like, would you like some tea? Instead of, do you want tea?
Wait, isn't do you want tea also fine, though?
It's fine, but it's more casual, more direct. Would you like feels warmer, gentler, like you really care about making the person comfortable.
Okay. So if I'm hosting guests at my house, I should use would a lot?
Yes. Imagine you're a host. Would you like something to drink? Would you like to sit here? Would you prefer tea or coffee? It makes your guests feel valued and respected.
That's such a useful tip, actually, because, I always just used do you want for everything.
To be honest, that's totally fine in casual conversations between friends. But when you want to sound extra polite, especially with new people or in professional settings, would is your best friend.
Got it. Okay, now the big one, should. I feel like I use this one the most, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm using it right.
Okay, so should is a little different from could and would. This one is mainly used for giving advice or suggestions in a soft and caring way.
You mean like when I'm helping a friend with a problem?
Exactly. For example, if your friend says, I have a headache, instead of saying, take medicine, which sounds like an order, you say, you should take some medicine and rest.
Oh, that does sound much nicer. Less like a command, more like caring advice.
Yes, that's the magic of should. It feels like you're gently guiding someone, not forcing them.
This is where things get interesting for me, actually, because in my culture, sometimes we just say things very directly, like, do this, don't do that. But in English, should makes it sound much softer.
That's such a great point, Jay. And honestly, this is one of the biggest differences between direct cultures and English-speaking cultures. English speakers love softening their language, especially when giving opinions or advice, because nobody wants to feel like they're being bossed around.
Wow, I never thought about language and culture connecting like that.
Oh, it's huge. Think about it this way. If your boss says you must finish this today, that feels stressful, right?
Oh, yeah, that sounds intense.
But if your boss says you should try to finish this today if possible, it feels much more relaxed, even though the meaning is kind of similar.
Wow, that's such a small change in words, but such a big change in feeling.
Exactly, and that's the real power of these three magic words. They don't just change grammar, they change emotions, relationships, and how people see you.
Okay, can we do a quick practice round? Like you give me a sentence and I try to make it sound polite using could, would, or should?
I love that idea. Okay, here's a strict sentence. Close the door.
Could you close the door, please?
Perfect. See how natural that sounded?
Okay, give me another one.
Come to my birthday party.
Would you like to come to my birthday party?
Yes, that sounds like a warm invitation, not a demand.
Okay, one more. Give me a hard one.
Drink more water every day.
You should drink more water every day.
Excellent. See, you're already using these magic words naturally.
This actually feels easier than I expected. But wait, I have a question. Sometimes I hear people say, would you mind if I sit here? Is that the same kind of politeness?
Oh, great example. Yes, would you mind is like extra, extra polite. It's used when you want to be very careful and respectful, especially with strangers or in formal situations.
You mean like in a quiet train or a library?
Exactly. Like, would you mind if I open the window? Instead of just, can I open the window? It shows extra respect for the other person's comfort.
This is actually really practical for travelers too, right? Like when you're in a new country and you don't know people yet.
Absolutely. Imagine you're at the airport and you need help with your luggage. Instead of saying, help me with this bag, which sounds very demanding to a stranger, you say, could you help me with this bag, please?
That sounds so much friendlier and safer to use with anyone.
Right. And honestly, these words also protect you, because if you ask politely, people are usually more willing to help you. Nobody wants to help someone who sounds rude or demanding.
That's such a good point. Politeness is kind of like a secret tool for getting what you want, in a nice way.
Exactly. It's not about being weak or shy, it's about being smart and respectful at the same time.
Okay, let's imagine a scenario, May. Imagine I'm in a job interview, and I want to ask about the salary, but I don't want to sound greedy or rude.
Ooh, good one. Okay, so instead of saying, how much will you pay me, which sounds too direct for an interview, you could say, could you tell me more about the salary range for this position?
Oh, that sounds so much more professional.
Exactly. And if you want to suggest something during the interview, you could use should too, but very carefully. Like, I think it should also be important to discuss growth opportunities.
Wow, that feels very mature and professional, not pushy at all.
That's the goal. These three words help you sound confident but still respectful, which is such an important balance in English.
You know, I'm realizing something. A lot of English learners, especially beginners, are scared to ask questions or make requests because they're scared of sounding rude by accident.
That is so true, Jay, and honestly, that fear stops a lot of people from speaking up, even when they really need help.
Exactly. So if they just remember these three words, could, would, should, they can ask almost anything politely.
Pretty much. These three words cover most everyday situations: asking for help, asking for permission, inviting someone, offering something, or giving advice.
Could you give us like a quick summary, almost like a cheat sheet?
Sure. Okay, here's the simple way to remember it. Use could when you want to ask for something or ask permission politely. Use would when you want to invite someone or offer something nicely. And use should when you want to give friendly advice or suggestions.
Could for asking, would for inviting and offering, should for advice. I think I've got it now.
Perfect. And here's a fun tip. Try using these words in small daily conversations like ordering food, talking to your coworkers, or chatting with new friends. The more you use them, the more natural they will feel.
You know, I'm actually going to try this today. Like instead of saying, give me a coffee at the cafe, I'm going to say, could I get a coffee, please?
That's such a small change, but it really does make you sound more polished and confident in English.
I love that. Okay, before we wrap up, is there anything else important about these magic words?
Just one more thing. Don't overthink it. A lot of learners get scared and think, oh no, am I using could, would, should correctly? But honestly, even if you make a small mistake, native speakers will still understand you, and they'll appreciate that you're trying to be polite.
That's so comforting to hear, actually, because sometimes we get too scared of mistakes and we just stop talking altogether.
Exactly, Jay. The goal isn't perfection, it's connection. These words help you connect with people in a warm, respectful way, and that matters way more than perfect grammar.
Beautifully said, May. Okay, everyone, that's our topic for today. Could, would, should. The three magic words for polite English.
So here's a question for all of you listening. Try making one polite sentence today using could, would, or should, and share it with us in the comments. We would love to hear how you use it in your daily life.
Yes, drop your sentence below and let's see who can make the most polite, natural sentence.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today.
And remember, we upload a brand new episode every single day, so make sure you're subscribed so you never miss one.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep building your confidence.
See you in the next episode, everyone. Bye for now.